Hi lovelies, it's Jennibellie. I have a new tutorial for you all about making the edges of your art journal pages lovely and juicy and fat. And no, I haven't put extensions on my hair, I just recorded this bit before I chopped it all off. Once I've shown the tutorial with you, I'll take you through a little look in my art journal and just share with you some ways I have used this technique to start off my art journal pages. I hope you enjoy. So it's really easy to make the edges of your journals juicy. We tend to forget about the edges of journals and just focus on the pages inside. This journal started out like this one, as you can see, a bit of a difference. It's just a regular sketchbook. I buy them in bulk and use them for lots of different projects. They're really easy, so I tend to get this in lots of colours and whatnot. And I undo the binding and bind it properly because staples don't leave in your art journal pages if you're using wet media. The paper will expand around the staples. Because paper is paper and staples are metal, they're removable, so the paper tears to, obviously the metal won't give way for the paper. So rebind them, and I take a couple of pages out as well because otherwise I find they're a bit too bulky by the time I've done all of my layering and whatnot. You don't want to do this technique if you don't like a chunky journal, but if you do, then it's really easy. All you need is scraps, and you can get if you're anything like me, you've got scraps everywhere in drawers all around, and this technique is really good to use really small scraps, although I would say something that's this small I wouldn't be bothered with using for this technique because it's just too fiddly. But you can use smaller pieces if you want to, and I've got all kinds of pattern papers in here. I've got some of my artwork or scrap paint paper, a bit of collage, bit of vintage ephemera and things like that. Here's some vintage wallpaper, or might just be wallpaper, that one, I don't know. What I also have is this is a good one to use artwork on that you don't like. So this thing I painted a while ago and she's a bit creepy and I don't like her. So actually I'm going to use her for this technique. So it's a good one to use for artwork that you're not particularly pleased with, but you can incorporate it back into your artwork. And I also have got some little bits of collage here, so some stamps, some things off of a brochure, junk mail that was sent through the door, bit of a magazine, an old banknote, London tube map, some Japanese text paper, more vintage text, and some packaging and things like that. Anything that's interesting you can use for this. And all you do is, as I've done on this spine, I've kind of matched up what we're doing inside the journal, outside the journal with this cover here, and you can either have nice sharp edges on it. I personally prefer torn edges, but if there's a straight edge on it, I'll generally leave it. Sometimes I'll tear it, but I won't use scissors, let's say, to do this. And it's really easy. That's a bit of gift wrap that I liked. Just one sheet of gift wrap, or you can do lots like this using up your scraps. And I mirrored it in the cover and kind of tried to reflect it because it will make the edges of your pages bulky. So I mirrored it on the spine as well, which you can also do to kind of level it out if you want to. And you can use my 3 glue technique as I'm going to do, as I showed you in a recent video, or you can stick it however you like. Stick down your scraps along the spine, you can, or along the edges, sorry, and you can use some washi tape if you want to in little spaces where there's some gaps or whatever, or just use the paper, and it's really easy. Let's get going. I'm going to use this old artwork. is simply stick it on like that. And I've got to say, I like her much better for some reason like that. You can use bigger pieces rather than smaller scraps, and rather than running it along the edge, you can put them full into the page as a starting point for when you come to do the journal. Okay, so you can see there aren't as many pages in this journal, and like the original journal, because I already did some art in the beginning, there's a couple of pages that I haven't done because I don't want to infringe on the artwork already done in here. This was a monthly challenge, the January monthly challenge in the Journal Workshops art community. Actually, I did post this video on YouTube as well if you want to see it. And the same happened with this journal. I'd already started it, so I didn't want to put it onto the artwork that I'd already done. So this might be better for you guys that are starting brand new journals, or just to do incrementally through a journal, because if you suddenly just do it in the back of a journal you've already got going on, it will bulk up the end and it might look a bit strange, but you can try it. I don't know, it might suit you. What I did do though to balance it up a little bit in this journal, as you can see with this artwork I already started, I just put some washi tape along the edge. Now this page is actually covered in collage up to the edge, so it's quite thick anyway, but as you can see, oh, and I did put collage on this end, but I didn't fold it over, so it's very it's thicker than what the original page was, but even just with washi tape it's still very fine, whereas when you do it with these ones it's more chunky. So if you want fine edges, then maybe just use washi, but I'll show you now how you can use this as a prompt. So it's a great way to start if you want a prompt, so you can see like this. If you're afraid of the blank page, when you come to a new journal page, then like with here I've just started building the collage and it's a great way to start. You can use it as I have here, not really incorporating it very much. I've just used it as a frame and then kept it quite separate, but still done some layers over it. So there's some paint in the background here that I've taken over the edges, so the edges aren't so harsh, and then I've just put this paint here so that it's part of it, it's got some layers on it, but it's still distinct, it's like a frame. And then on this one, all this background that I've started, I've incorporated it more, as you can see, more collage in the background so that it's not such a contrast. And then here I've incorporated it completely, so you can't see it at all. You know, there's so much going off already on this page, and I'm not even sure I've finished with this page. But yeah, you can use it as your starting point. There's many ways to use it. I hope you like making juicy edges of your journals. Much love, everybody. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you would like more, there's 3 things you can do. Number 1, you could subscribe to my channel. Number 2, you could sign up for my newsletter, where I send out exclusive videos just to my newsletter crew each month, along with news, monthly giveaways, new stuff, articles and updates. And third, sign up to my art community, journalworkshops.ning.com. It's free to sign up, and there is weekly and monthly art activities going on there, as well as all of my classes, including a free one if you haven't taken it yet, called Inspiration Station, all about making art journals and just keeping your creative inspiration up. So go sign up now. Have an awesome day. Bye.